Hello everybody, this is Mr. Laubach. Thank you for joining me. In this video, we are going to journey back to the era of Spanish conquest, exploring the intricate systems that defined New Spain. So the time setting for this video is going to be during periods 1 and period 2 of the APUSH curriculum. We are going to go over the Castas system, the Encomienda system, the mission system, and the Pueblo Revolt, and then I'll finish up the video with some big takeaways. Before we start, let's go over briefly what New Spain was. New Spain was founded in 1521, following the fall of the Aztec capital, which is now modern-day Mexico City, to the Spanish conquistadors under the command of Hernán Cortés. This event marked the beginning of Spanish colonial rule in the region that would later become Mexico and parts of Central America and the southwestern United States. So that was just a brief history and a way for you to understand what region we are talking about. So let's start with the Castas system. The Castas system was a hierarchical social structure that categorized individuals in colonial New Spain based on their racial ancestry. This system reflected the complex interactions and mixing of Native American, European, and African peoples in the Spanish colonies in the Americas. At the top of the Castas system were Spaniards, who held the highest social status and enjoyed privileges and power. Below them were various mixed race groups known as castas, such as mestizos, that were of Spanish and Native American ancestry, mulattoes of Spanish and African ancestry, and then there were other levels. The lowest level in the Spanish Castas system were Africans. The social status and rights of individuals were determined by their racial background, with lighter-skinned individuals generally enjoying more privileges and opportunities than those with darker skin. The Castas system was not only a reflection of racial hierarchy, but also served to maintain social control and reinforce colonial power dynamics. It was a means for Spanish colonial authorities to categorize and control the diverse population of New Spain, while also perpetuating notions of racial superiority and inferiority. Despite its rigidity, the Castas system also led to a complex cultural blending and identity formation among mixed racial populations, contributing to the rich cultural diversity of modern-day Latin America. So for the Castas system, think of a class system that was implemented by the Spanish government in New Spain. Now, to understand New Spain's colonial structure, we must first grasp the Encomienda system. The primary intent of the Encomienda system was to establish a labor and tribute extraction system in the newly conquered territories of the Americas. It was implemented by the Spanish crown to reward conquistadors, soldiers, and other settlers for their service in the conquest and colonization efforts. Under this system, Spanish authorities granted certain individuals, known as encomenderos, the right to extract labor and tribute from Native American communities within a designated geographical area. The encomenderos were tasked with the responsibility of converting the Native Americans they were given the right to see over to Christianity and provide them with protection and education in order for their labor. However, the encomienda system often resulted in the exploitation and abuse of Native American peoples, as encomenderos forced them to work under harsh conditions, often without proper compensation or regard for their well-being. While the encomienda system was initially intended to facilitate the process of colonization and Christianization, it ultimately became a tool for exploitation and subjugation of Native American populations, contributing to the social, economic, and cultural marginalization of Native American communities in the Spanish colonies. Amidst this exploitation, voices of resistance emerged. One such voice was that of Bartolomé de las Casas, a Spanish Dominican friar turned fierce advocate for Native American rights. Las Casas passionately denounced the atrocities committed under the Encomienda system, pleading for its abolition and advocating for the humane treatment of the Native American populations. De las Casas' writings really resonated with many people in Spain and would be a catalyst to eventually end the Encomienda system. And ultimately, it led to even more African slavery in New Spain. On the other hand, voices of leaders like Juan de Sepúlveda echoed through the centuries. Sepúlveda fiercely debated with Las Casas, advocating for the justification of Spanish conquest based on notions of cultural superiority and religious duty. Now, the Encomienda system was just one facet of New Spain's colonial hierarchy. The mission system, also known as the Spanish missions, was a key component of Spanish colonialism in the Americas, particularly in the regions such as present-day Mexico, California, and other parts of the southwestern United States. The primary purpose of the mission system was to spread Christianity and facilitate the colonization of Native American peoples. Spanish missionaries, often from Catholic religious orders like the Franciscans, Jesuits, and Dominicans, established missions in Native American territories. These missions served as centers for converting Native American peoples to Christianity, teaching them the Spanish language and culture, and integrating them into Spanish colonial society. The missions provided a structured environment where Native American peoples lived, worked, and worshiped under the guidance of the missionaries. They were taught agricultural techniques, crafts, and other skills deemed useful for sustaining the mission communities and contributing to the economic development of the colony. However, the mission system also had significant consequences for Native American populations. Many Native American people were forcibly relocated to missions where they faced exploitation, disease, and cultural assimilation. The missions often disrupted the traditions of Native American lifeways and undermined their autonomy and self-governance. Despite its flaws and harm inflicted on Native American communities, the mission system played a significant role in shaping the cultural landscape of the Americas. Many modern-day cities and towns in regions once controlled by the Spanish missions bear the influence of this colonial legacy, with missions often serving as historic landmarks and tourist attractions. Now let's talk about the Pueblo Revolt, also known as Popé's Revolt. Under the leadership of Popé, a Pueblo medicine man from San Juan, Pueblo, Native American communities across the region coordinated a well-organized rebellion against Spanish settlement. On August 10, 1680, after months of secret planning, the Pueblo fighters launched a coordinated attack on Spanish settlements and missions, killing numerous colonies and driving the survivors out of the region. The Pueblo Revolt actually succeeded in driving the Spanish out of now what is New Mexico for nearly a decade, during which time the Pueblo people regained control of their lands and revived their traditional religious practices and cultural customs. However, the Spanish eventually reasserted control over the region in 1692, leading to the reconquest of the New Mexico area and the reimposition of Spanish colonial rule. But the Spanish were forced to accept some ways of Native American life and culture in order to maintain control. Despite the eventual Spanish reconquest, the Pueblo Revolt remains a symbol of Native American resistance and resilience against colonial oppression in the Americas. It stands as one of the few successful Native American uprisings against European colonization in North America and continues to hold cultural significance for Pueblo communities to this day. Now for some big takeaways. These Spanish colonial systems were designed to exert control over Native American populations and facilitate the colonization process. The theme of resistance and support against colonial oppression emerged with figures like de las Casas and de Sepúlveda. These themes underscore the profound and lasting impact of colonialism in the societies and cultures in the Americas. In closing, the echoes of New Spain reverberate through time, reminding us of the complexities and contradictions inherent in colonial rule, not only within New Spain, but throughout the Americas. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you'll learn something about New Spain. Have a great rest of the day.